It took growing our agent count by 370% to make up what I had been doing in production. Not only did we make up for my production, but we even went up. Unit count increased 15%, volume went up about 30%, GCI went up about 30%. So it worked.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Reside Platform podcast. I'm your host today, Suneet Agrawal. I'm super excited for our guest today, Brandi Fugate, the owner and managing broker of private label real estate in Tulsa. Brandi, how's it going?
Doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm super good. You guys, if you don't know Brandi, she's been in real estate and mortgage for decades and has built an incredible independent brokerage known for concierge level service, strong values, and real leadership. And when we're talking to Brandi today, not we, but when me, it's not me and the mouse in my pocket, it's just me. Brandi's done something pretty incredible over this last year. So make sure you stay tuned to hear all about it. All right. Brandi,
Yes.
how did you get into this fun, wild world of real estate in the first place?
Yeah, funny story. So, really, I was in mortgage lending for 21 years. That's all I knew was mortgage lending, banking side the last several years. Then I started flipping houses and was a little disgruntled that my buyer's agent wasn't giving me the opportunities quickly enough and I was missing out on some deals. So I thought, I'm just going to get my real estate license on the side, continue my day job as a mortgage lender. And then what I underestimated was my ability to do business on regular retail real estate business that first year. So I sold 36 houses accidentally. I didn't mean to, and ended up leaving mortgage and going into real estate full time.
So when was that?
That would have been 2016.
Okay. So you were in mortgage during all the ups and downs and the craziness.
Oh, yeah. I saw several from the 90s to 2008. I saw several of the ups and downs in mortgage for sure.
Yeah.
I was in subprime back in those days, which I know that's a dirty word, but.
I got in mortgage in 2002.
Okay.
I sold a lot of option arms. Let me tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I used to love those option arms.
If you had a 500 credit score and less than a 60% DTI, no money down, no PMI, easy peasy.
So now where were you geographically when you started in real estate?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Oklahoma, but I started in real estate in Chicago. I moved to Chicago in my 20s and I stayed there for about 8 years and then came back to Oklahoma 25 years ago.
Okay, so you were in Oklahoma for the real estate part.
Correct.
Something really cool for everyone listening. Brandi owns and runs a successful indie brokerage. And on this podcast, we don't talk to as many indies as we used to. So I'm really excited. When did you decide to open the brokerage?
Yeah, so it was right about 2.5 years ago. I opened it September 2 years ago. And it was really just because I couldn't keep giving myself excuses not to. As a small team leader at the time, I had my own office space. I had my own tech. I had my own admin team. I was buying leads for my small team. I really didn't need a broker other than the legal protection, but I never got sued. I thought, why? I'm not opening a brokerage out of fear. And it seems silly to give up 20% of every penny that we earn just out of fear. So finally, about 2.5 years ago, made the decision and opened private label real estate September 2023.
That's super cool. I remember when I opened up my indie, I kind of had the same thought. And also, I just wanted to have the opportunity to work with more agents that was irrelevant of where they were in their career. Did you ever think about that when you're opening up the brokerage, or was it more financial?
Yeah, I mean, it was both. Honestly, I would have never opened up the brokerage if there were a brokerage that existed in my market that offered everything that I knew a brokerage should. I had no ambition. I had no desire to be a business owner, to be in leadership, zero. But it was really out of necessity that it just didn't exist. So I had to build it.
And was that the first LLC or business that you started?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. You just
Yeah.
jumped right into the fire.
I did, and I'm not a natural leader. It took a lot of a learning curve. Reside helped out a ton with that, with systems and processes. But I'm a high C personality type. I'm not your typical D or I that most team leaders are. Set me in a corner and give me a checklist to follow, and that's my natural jam. But I've found that it's actually been really rewarding, and I was missing my calling. I love to train. I love to teach. I love to lead people, but it took 50 years for me to figure out that's my new jam.
So I'm thinking about all the pain that I had when I opened up my brokerage. And I remember like sitting there and checks started to come in. I was all, and my admin was all, we got to do the compliance. I was all, compliance? What? Did you ever have any of those moments when you first
Oh,
opened?
well, as a high C, I'm all about compliance. Are you kidding? You just
Yes. Right. As
set
a
me
high
down
D, I
to
can't think about it.
three
Yes.
audit contracts for 8 hours straight, and I'm in love.
So you were
It's
ready for that stuff.
it's put me in front of a room full of new agents to host Hello Week for 4 hours a day for an entire week. That's where I start to get a little nervous, not in the compliance part.
Yeah, that's so funny. I am the opposite, which is totally going into what you're saying about disc profiles. So you start your brokerage, and in the beginning, it was fairly just like any new business, smaller, right?
Yeah, sure. We just had a handful of agents, the majority of which were doing real estate on the side. Either they were stay at home parents or stay at home caregivers to disabled loved ones or had full time jobs. I only had a couple of agents that were actually looking to do this full time. And my definition of full time in this business is about 30 hours a week. Yeah, we started off really small. It was mainly me. I was selling for the last several years. I was selling 100 homes a year personally. The business was very much ran by my personal production.
Okay, great. 100 homes a year for many years is a
Mm,
lot.
it was a lot.
It's a
Yeah.
lot. And I know from knowing you and coaching and working with you through Reside that you really went deep on online leads. Is that fair to say?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What was the moment that you decided to get into that game?
Honestly, I'd been a Realtor.com subscriber since back in the mortgage business. I had Realtor partners that I was co sponsoring or co branding with them on Realtor.com. And I bought mortgage leads. There were a handful of different online lead companies for mortgage back in the lending tree days and whatnot. So I'd been an online lead company subscriber since the beginning. So it was just natural to do the same once I jumped the fence from mortgage to real estate.
I love that. And I have the same moment is during mortgage, we used to spend about $1 million on mail every month. So a lot of mail. And it would just be calls. So our phones would always ring. Right.
Mhm.
And then when I got into real estate, my story, I was penniless broke. I didn't have anything. One of my buddies who had gone back into mortgage, he said, hey, there's online leads for real estate too. I was like, oh, yeah, of course there are. I'm all, what is some website? He goes, dude, it's Zillow. And I was all, duh. Looks like the cheapest zip code is like $400 a month. I had no money. I was all, dude, can I borrow $400? And he loaned it to me. And that's what led there. So it's cool,
Oh,
right?
that's
Like when you come in having that little bit of experience with the leads, which we both had, I think it definitely helped both our success.
absolutely. And when I moved over to real estate, I didn't want to invest anything in it because, again, I just wanted to have MLS access for my own flips.
Yeah.
I didn't want to invest anything in it, but I'm also not a person who practices moderation. I'm either all in or I'm all out. I would get up in the morning and look on Zillow for sell by owners. And that first year, I would just call FISBOs and offer a full service, full percent listing. 3% to the buyer's agent, 1% to me. The only caveat is that they had to let me work as many open houses as I wanted. And I would do 5 open houses in a weekend.
Yes.
And I found that I developed 2.7 average buyers for every listing I took by hosting the open houses. So I wasn't making a killing on those 1% listing commissions, but the buyers I was generating off of those worked. So after I did that for a year, I mean, that's how I did really the 36 units my first year and then 48 my second year. And that's when I decided, all right, let me start putting some money into this and go back to the lead generation online. So signed back up with Realtor.com and Zillow.
Do you
And
remember those old school like realtor.com leads that came in? Just like an email. It was just some typed in and it was so funny. I'm like, this is a lead? Like this looks so janky. But the,
Mhm.
but they
It
were
worked.
there. There was an agent in my office who didn't want him but paid for him. He would just give them all to me.
Oh, I
He's
just
like, if you get something, give me a referral. I ended up getting a bunch of them, so it was
it
cool.
kills me how people think that these leads don't perform. Like, are you kidding? These leads do. You have to know how to work them. You have to have a good action plan in place. You've got to have good automations in place. But these leads are fantastic. You just have to work them.
Yeah, you just have to work them.
Yeah.
So when we connected
Mhm.
at, was that at a Zillow Unlock event? Or Tahoe, maybe?
No, it was Tahoe. It was Tahoe. So Paul started reaching out to me. Well, actually, I started following Chet Black online, and I did one of his discovery calls, I think 6 months earlier. And he said, honestly, I would love to take your money, but you don't need me at the level you're at. What you need is reside. And I kind of felt like, well, I don't know what reside is. And I feel like this guy just blew me off. So forget that. So 6 months later, Paul's been following up with me every month. And he says, come out to Tahoe, just check us out. And that's where I met all of you guys and signed up on the spot.
So what was going through your head when you first even reached out to Shep?
Yeah. I just knew that I needed something different. And I was a big advocate of coaching. I've had coaching since I first started.
Okay.
Since day one in 2016, I've always had a real estate coach. And they were great to get me to the levels that I was at. But I knew a year ago, a year and a half ago, when I started with Reside, I knew that it was time to make a change. And I knew that I was turning 50 soon. The days of working 7 days a week, 12 plus hours a day, that was in my rearview mirror, and it was time to make a change. So I felt like Reside was probably a good tool to help me make that transition from producing agent, and not just producing agent, but 100 a year, man, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. And it worked. This 2025 is a huge blessing. I mean, we accomplished exactly what I set out to accomplish with your help, with you coaching me and all of the systems and the playbooks. We did it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, guys. And this is what I was talking about to all the listeners and viewers is Brandi was able to get out of production due to personal reasons, right? How was that? Dude, that's the story right there. I mean, everything else was just a little warm up. Like, let's
Yeah.
get into that.
Yeah. I mean, glory to God, really. I mean, it's been a huge answered prayer. So, to dig in a little bit about the personal story, my grandmother will be 97 in April, and she has dementia. And about a year and a half ago, we got to the point that we knew we were going to have to put her in a nursing home, and she did not want to go into a nursing
Yeah.
home at all. She lived about 2 hours away, and we made the decision to move her to Tulsa. And my mom moved my mom to Tulsa as well. The three of us moved in together, and we're her in-home caregivers. And it was too much to expect my mom to stay home with her 9 to 5 while I'm at the office, and then also me run out showing homes and listing appointments on evenings and weekends. So I knew something was going to have to change, and I needed to come out of production to be more present for my family. And now, with the intentional time blocking and eating the frog first thing in the morning, I'm here at 9. I'm usually home by 3, and I don't usually leave the house after 3. I'm there and available and present for my family. It's huge.
Wow. Wow. So
Yeah.
you moved your mom and your grandmother. Did you guys buy another house or they move in with you?
Yeah, we bought a house in Tulsa. We had to find one that had no steps and wide hallways and things like that. So we found one. It's a mile from my office. So the location's perfect.
That's awesome.
We're 3 blocks away from the hospital. So yeah, we found the perfect home.
And then so I got to get out of production,
Yeah.
family first.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what was the first step?
The first step was really you guys, and knowing that, or being taught by you guys, that it's all about recruiting. To make up for my 100 transactions a year, I've got to recruit. And if you remember in the beginning, I was stubborn. I
I
thought,
do.
I'll recruit another Brandi, someone who's going to come in with 100 transactions a year. And so then that didn't work. So then I thought, well, let me get 250 unit a year agents. And then it kept going. And there's not a lot of people who want to sell 100 homes a year.
Yeah, there's not. And that's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. And I came to accept that and appreciate that. But it took growing our agent count by 370% to make up what I had been doing in production. And
300.
that's okay. They're all happy. They're hitting their goals. And not only did we make up for my production, but we even went up a bit. Our unit count increased 15%. Volume went up about 30%. GCI went up about 30%.
All great.
And our brokerage GCI went up 37%. So it worked.
It works. So let's go back to those recruiting days.
Yeah.
What did you like? So you talked a little bit about being stubborn. Like, what was the mindset shift?
Well, I mean, it was you getting me out of my comfort zone and explaining that to find another unicorn who wants to sell 100 homes a year. I mean, I'm even a unicorn in my market. I'm in the top 0.01% of the market. There's just not a lot of people who want to do that kind of business. So it took just meeting people where they were and really getting to know the agents and what fueled their fire and what their motivations were, and not only the what, but the why they do what they do, and just wanting to help them succeed. And then as I would recruit one agent and then they would have a goal of 10 units a year, I think, okay, got to keep going. That's not going to do it. So recruit another one and they want to do 5 a year. Okay, that's not going to do it, but yep, bring them on. Let's support them. Let's be their cheerleader, but let's keep going. And so now we're at 37 agents with an average tenure on the team of only 5 months. So most of them are very new and most of them are brand new, just newly licensed out of real estate school. But altogether, they're projecting 500 units for next year.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the recruiting process look like?
So I still use your Indeed ad. I've not edited it whatsoever. It's the same one you started me with a year and a half ago. I am running an A and B test. I've been doing that for the past few months, one with the word experienced and one without the word experienced. And I get probably a dozen resumes a week. I would say more than half of them are not licensed and not willing to get a license. They don't really understand that they have to get a license and what the costs are, especially this time of year in January. You have to pay the entire year's dues. So it's pretty hefty. But we get a few good ones. I probably interview 2 a week. And that's what's taken us to 37 units or 37 agents.
What do you look for in those interviews?
Yeah, it's all about culture. So when I wrote our mission, vision, and value statement 2 years ago, I was really intentional about that. I was really intentional about who we were going to be and what kind of business we were going to do and where our character would show through. So, and our mission, vision, and values are everywhere. It's posted on boards in the lobby. It's in every single one of our handouts. It's in our listing presentation, our buyer presentation, our recruiting guide. It's everywhere. So kind of when I'm interviewing someone, I'm looking through that filter of, are they going to fit with our culture? I could care less what their production is, could care less. Because I know even an agent who only produced a few deals and have been in the business for a few years, they're going to completely outperform what they've done in our system. Our system's totally different. It's been tried and true. They're going to skyrocket when they come over here. So I don't care about production. I just care about their character and their personality and their willingness to be collaborative. And if I feel like they're a good fit for the team, then I give them a shot.
Yes, good. You think it's more about feelings and vibes, or do you have any like specific ways to like understand?
It's feelings and vibes to me. It's gut feeling and feeling in my heart. I mean, I wish I had the magic 8 ball and could tell right off of the bat if someone's going to be a good fit or not. And I hired 2 last year that were not a good fit. But I figure that's not bad. 2 out of 39 that we hired.
That ain't bad, Brandi.
That's not bad. But, it became pretty obvious right away. They were not buying into our culture at all. And it stood out. So they ended up finding a better place and I wish them well.
Absolutely.
But one of them was a surprise. I really thought she would have plugged in more. The other one, though, I got to tell you, I felt it in my gut. And I think as a team leader, sometimes we start thinking about numbers and we want to recruit. And I wanted another number and I wasn't thinking clearly. And it bit me in the rear because I spent about 90 days really investing in this person and got nothing out of it. But
Yeah, and that happens, right? And maybe that person will come back with a newfound hustle and respect for everything that you did. So you brought in all these agents, and
yeah,
many people are bringing agents in. And you mentioned something about a hello week, which is
yes,
onboarding week.
yep.
How do you get all these agents you're recruiting productive?
Mm. Well, Hello Week does it. Hello Week starts out Monday morning, first thing, just getting their technology set up, getting their email set up, getting their FUB login set up, and their email signatures, you name it. And by Friday at noon, they have their leads turned on and they're in the rotation. They're starting to get leads immediately. So, and then we've got a requirement that they have to complete the very next Rise class with Mia, which is huge. So, a combination of Hello Week and Rise, they're in.
So how many hours a day is the hello week?
It's just 9 to noon, Monday through Friday.
And what is that, once a month?
It just depends. Once I have a handful of new agents, then we'll do one. So just depends. Theoretically, once a month. Sometimes it's every 6 weeks. Sometimes it's 8 weeks. Just
And then
depends.
you're the one that's doing that, obviously.
I am doing that. Yes. Now I have recorded the last two Hello Weeks. So if I have a new agent that comes on and I'm not intending to bring anyone else on for the next few weeks, I'll set them up in the Google Drive to watch the recordings of the last Hello Week and they can kind of self onboard.
And now is that in person or Zoom also?
It's in person. Yeah, they've got to bring their technology in, their iPads, their laptop, their phone. We set up their calendars. We sign them up for Rise. We sign them up for all of the meetings. It's all in person.
Now, is there any component of like picking up the damn phone and calling through the pond?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we start calling day one. We do not, but starting day two, we're on the phones. We're going through the smart filters. We're calling leads. I will plug myself into the lead rotation during Hello Week so that I'm getting the live notifications when a new lead comes in. I'm showing them right there live how I claim it, how I call them, how I talk to them. LP Mama training is one of the things we do. We still go back and watch Nick McLean's LP Mama training from over a year ago, and that's what we go off of is LP Mama. So yeah, we're doing that right there in Hello Week because they need to know that's a huge part of their job is making phone calls. So especially in a lead team like us. So we may as well just jump into the fire immediately because that's a lot of the job.
So you're bringing in these new people, and on day two, you have them picking up the phone.
Yeah.
How do you help people overcome the reluctance, the phone aversion? It's
Yeah.
big, right?
It,
And I get it.
yeah. It's big. You just have to get over it. I mean, just do it. Just suck it up, buttercup. You just have to do it. And the more you do it, the less reluctancy you'll have. You just have to get used to it.
Yeah. So, like, what's the message though? What do you tell these guys?
Just keep doing it. You'll get better as you go. And I do audit the phone calls. I have time blocked from 10 to 11 every day. My executive assistant and I are going through all of the phone calls from yesterday and we create a note in FUB and we mark it LPMAMA and we say, this you did or this you could have done better. And so we're constantly listening to calls and critiquing and helping improve the agents. So, and I just tell them right up front, you're going to suck at the beginning. I mean, you are. You're going to say the wrong things. You're going to stumble. You're going to sound like you're reading from a script. But before long, you won't even need the script. You'll just be thinking in your head, L location, let's talk location, P price, let's talk price. And you'll get better. And then you'll get to a point to where you'll get lazy and you'll forget and you'll go backwards. And I'll start beating up your call audits again. And then you'll get back into the groove. It's practice and it's accountability.
I love that you're talking about LP Mama because I feel like in this portal lead world that many of us are in, people forget about LP Mama and go straight to something like LM.
Uh, that's, I think, such a bad idea because, especially if you're not buying exclusive leads, getting them off of the phone real quick in ALM, that just gives time for another agent to get them on the phone. No,
That's
LP
so
Mama,
good.
spend half an hour on the phone with them. After that, they're not going to want to answer another call thinking they're going to have to spend another half hour with a different agent going through the whole process again. I disagree with the ALM.
That is so money and so valid. Is some of the portal lead providers say make it a quick phone call
Mhm.
and just get them to the appointment. Which I assume, if it is maybe a flex lead or a Zillow lead, where it
Yeah.
is
If
somewhat
it's flex and
exclusive.
it's exclusive, sure.
We
Sure.
think it's exclusive. However, that same prospect, that same lead could have also gone to
Oh,
realtor.com, every other
absolutely.
website, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
But LP Mama is really built. Everyone watching and listening to this, take notes from Brandi right now, because LP Mama is built to build rapport and have a deeper understanding with the prospect. Um,
Absolutely.
and for a realtor.com lead, I was just telling a coaching client this yesterday. For like a realtor.com lead, which Brandi and I both love and built our businesses on, we get the shared leads, meaning it goes to us and who knows how many other people, right? Like, we don't really know. Um,
Right. I think 3 more, but maybe more.
yeah, I mean, maybe three more, unless that person's clicked on another house.
Right.
And then it's three more.
Absolutely.
They clicked on another house, then it's three
Because
more.
they're zip code specific. So they could be getting 3 by clicking this zip code and 3 more in that zip code. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you call that lead, even if you do set a call back or let me get more information and get back to you, they're getting another call.
Yeah.
And you are missing the Brandi. That is so good what you just added.
Yeah.
Uh, Good
It's
job.
huge.
So, private label real estate,
Yeah.
I love the name.
Thank you.
You guys are known for, like, aptly named, known for a white glove concierge style service.
Yeah, to our agents and to our clients as well. And a lot of brokerages, I think, talk about this white glove concierge service to their clients. And of course, we all do that.
Yeah.
But we really roll out the red carpet to our agents. We spoil our agents. And that's something that I think makes us so unique in our market. There aren't a lot of brokerages that are providing, well, there aren't any brokerages that are providing leads, but there's really only a few teams that are providing leads. But what our admin team provides to our agents, that's been huge. You have to remember, I was selling 100 homes a year, and you can't do that alone. You can't do that without systems and processes. You can't do that without leverage, with a really good tech, with a really amazing tech stack. It's impossible to do that without a really good support system. So when I pulled myself out of production and started recruiting, I didn't just let go of all the systems. So the systems are still there. If an
Totally.
agent wants to come into our brokerage and sell 100 homes a year, systems are there. Admin team is there. It's built, it's ready to go. But I've got a theory or a philosophy that an agent should really just focus on 5 key things and let our admin staff do everything else. From writing your offers to preparing your listing paperwork to managing your inboxes and FUB, booking appointments, sending out your BBSAs, typing up your repair list, transaction management, doing all your marketing. I mean, our agents are spoiled here because that's what I had to have to sell 100 homes a year. And that's exactly what I give to them. Same thing.
So, what does the admin staff look like?
Yeah. So we started the year with 2 VAs out of India, husband and wife team. One has been with us for almost 4 years and the other almost 2 years. And they were doing everything. And then we started growing so rapidly that just a couple of months ago, I went out and hired 2 more VAs in the Philippines. One of them is our listing coordinator, the other is our marketing coordinator, which has then freed up our initial 2 VAs to focus on transaction coordination and agent assistance. And then we've also hired an executive assistant here locally in the office. So I finally have a local administrative employee that's really nice. And she
Yeah.
helps take a lot off of my plate.
That's so cool. I
Yeah.
never hear anybody hiring VAs in India.
Oh, yeah. Well, so it's funny how it all worked. So my first VA back close to 10 years ago, 8 years ago, maybe, was from the Philippines. And I needed to hire a second one. And he mentioned his sister in law, who was Filipino, but living in India. So I hired her. And then she was with me for several years. And then she resigned to be a stay at home mom and said, but I've already hired your replacement. She's Filipino in India as well. Here she is. I'm going to train her in my 2-week notice, and you're going to be taken care of. So, and then when we needed an assistant for her, she said, how about my husband? So it's all been really organic.
That's so, all these deals, all this growth with 4 VAs and 1 EA.
Yes. And 3 of the 5 of our admin team has been with us for less than 2 months. Yeah.
That's me being speechless right now.
Yeah.
So you, how long has that EA been there for?
She started November 17th.
Oh shit! So a month
Yeah.
and a half.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Yeah. Oh, great. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. We didn't have anyone sitting in the office. We had this beautiful lobby with this granite reception desk and all these nice built-ins, and no one sitting there ever.
Totally.
So it's just nice having someone that's a friendly face that welcomes the agents when they come in and out. And her job description is honestly evolving more and more as I'm learning how capable she is. I'm giving her more and more tasks. So it's been phenomenal.
That is mind blowing.
Yeah.
Everybody watching and listening, like, what's your excuse? Brandy did this, a majority of it with two VAs. Like, so smart on saving money, right? Like, your 5 admin staff, if they were all over here, it'd be probably 20 times as much minimum.
Oh, absolutely.
You probably couldn't even do it.
Absolutely. And then I hate to say this about my fellow Americans, but there's a different
There's a different work ethic.
there's a different work ethic. There's a huge different work ethic, and something about that Filipino culture that they want to be involved. They want to be part of the team, and it's prestigious to work for a US based company. And they're very much in in the system. As a matter of fact, I have a lot of co-op agents that say, "I've never met Gina before," and that's our main VA. And I say, "Well, she lives in India." Local people have no idea she's not here in Tulsa. Everyone just assumes they are. They're in every single meeting. They zoom in on every single meeting we have. They are a beloved part of our team. I mean, I'm planning a trip to India soon to meet them finally after all these years.
Oh,
So
no way. When are you
yeah,
going?
I don't know. This year, I've got my Going app set to track flights for me. So
Where
we'll
do
see.
they live in India?
Huh?
Where do they live?
Mangalore.
Bangalore. Okay. Never been there, so I can't help you. But when you do, let's talk before you go because there's some cool
Okay.
stuff. If you're making the
Okay.
trek, like you got to see some cool stuff too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yes, that's so
absolutely.
awesome. Managing administrative staff,
Mm.
either locally or virtually, it involves, I think, great systems. So,
Oh,
is there
absolutely.
any specific tech that you use, dashboard or something that helps you with that process?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another, my tech stack was another thing that made Reside feel like such a natural fit because you guys' view on tech and my view on tech aligned so much. I was
Sure.
already using Follow Up Boss as my CRM. I was already using YLOPO for website and IDX. And you guys have turned me on to AI voice and AI text through YLOPO. So I'm using that now. I was already using QuickBooks, already using Google Suite. And aside from that, you guys have turned me on to Corded and Go High Level for recruiting. Those have been two really good additions. And then just last month, I signed up with Easy Home Search for additional lead generation. I kind of capped out with realtor.com. I can't get any more zip codes. I'm capped out there. So adding Preston's Easy Home Search Company
Yeah,
just doubled
naturally.
our lead count. Yeah. So we're going from about 25 leads a week to over 50 a week right now.
Nice. So, no like project management software? Are you doing that inside of Google?
I'm doing everything inside of Google. I am a Google Sheets nerd. I love me a good spreadsheet. So I was with CTE and Sisu for the longest and just thought I can build my own. I can do this better. So we use Google Sheets, we use Google Forms, our SOP, all of our training, everything is in Google Drive. We're Google through and through.
Yeah, that's awesome because once again, you're making smart financial business decisions.
Well, when you pull yourself out of production and you're used to making full commissions on 100 deals a year, all of a sudden you're not in production and you've got agents that you're paying out anywhere from 50% to 80% commissions. Your bottom line's going down. So you've got to be lean. You've got to be lean.
You got to be lean. I love that. So, I've been using Monday.com for a long
Mhm.
time. I know that we talked about it. However, I'm not telling you to change shit because I love the fact that you're doing Google and it's
Well,
working for you.
my new marketing director, she is a Trello fan. So when she came on again about a month ago, she said, I'm bringing Trello. This is how you're going to approve all my social media posts. So we are doing a little Trello now. And then as far as internal communications, we use GroupMe, which is a free app. And we've got a group me for just our lead team. We've got a group me for the whole brokerage. We've got a group me with our lender partner. And then we've got a group me for our agent leadership council. And then lastly, a group me for our events committee. So we're lean. We're pretty lean.
Love that. It's
Yeah.
so you're making so many smart decisions. Man, we haven't talked in a while. I'm super happy to have you on the episode right now. So it sounds like you're building future leaders, not just productive agents,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We kind of talked about the qualities that you look for when someone joins, but then how do you make someone grow into like a leadership role over time?
Yeah. That's a good question. And I don't know that I have an answer for that yet, being so new. I can tell you that my last 3 years in production, I ran a pod system, which I'd learned from my old mortgage days from a bank that I worked at. So I was the lead agent, and I had one or two junior agents underneath me, and then a showing agent underneath them, or sometimes multiple showing agents, and then our admin team. So I know the pod system works. I know it inside and out. I ran it for 3 years. And I hope that one of our agents, and again, our agents on average have only been with us for 5.3 months, so a lot of newbies, but I hope that some of them will get to the point to where they're ready to bring on juniors.
Yeah, I love that. It's because it gives you like kind of what you experience, more freedom,
Oh, absolutely.
right? And it
Yeah,
keeps
and it
that
means
cycle going.
yeah, and how we operated that basically was as the lead agent, I went to every single first buyer showing and did the buyer consult there on the ground with the junior agent there. And then the junior agent followed up on all of the other subsequent showings until they found the one. And then I would go back and do a second showing and talk offer strategy and talk comps in that second showing. Just simply not having to do all of the showings on the houses that they don't like in the first place was huge,
Yeah,
especially when you average 32 showings per client. That was a huge time waster. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I've already peeped out a few of these agents that are new, but I foresee them being pod leaders someday. Absolutely.
I love that. So people are listening and they're all, holy shit, Brandi is a rock star. And they're thinking to themselves, I want to build a business that supports my life, not consumes it. I want to be home by 3 o'clock.
Word.
What do you want them to know about what you've created at Private Label?
Yeah. Well, as John says, KFR. I mean, you've got to recruit. You've got to recruit to make up what you're giving up.
Can't believe I'm hearing you say that.
I know.
Oh, great. I feel vindicated. Yes.
I know. I mean, that's it, and get out of your own way from your own expectations of what kind of agent you want to bring on.
So
Because
good.
I only wanted to bring on the Brandys who wanted to do high business. And you know what? Honestly, I probably wouldn't have liked a Brandi if I would have brought a Brandi on. But instead, I've got 37 individual agents who I adore. And my goal is just making sure they hit their goals. And their goals range anywhere from 5 to 40. They just turned in all their goal worksheets after going through Mia's 2026 goal training clinic. 5 to 40. Our top agent wants to do 40 next year. And you know what? I'm thrilled with that. I am happy as can be. And people keep asking, how many more agents are you going to recruit? And the answer is, I don't know. I mean, honestly, if I end 2026 with the same 37 agents and they have closed 500 units, they've all hit their goal and they're happy and they've got a good work-life balance, maybe I don't recruit anymore. But having said that, I also,
What?
I
What?
mean, and I say that, but on the other hand, it's been pretty easy to recruit with your Indeed ad. And we developed a really good recruiting handbook that really goes into who we are and what we do and explains the value proposition that we offer. Another person that we hired this year is a content creator. So he's putting out lots of content about why someone would want to come to our brokerage. So we're starting to get some social media traffic there. It's been kind of easy, knock on wood. So, I mean, if someone walks in my door who I think is of good moral character, I think would fit in well, I'm not going to turn anyone away. But
Sure.
I also really want to see these 37 succeed. I want to see them hit their goals and be happy.
What's next for Private Label Real Estate?
Yeah. I think just making sure they hit their goals for this year. I think that's next. Keeping those recruiting funnels open. I mentioned I hired a marketing director, one of the VAs in the Philippines. And she's just now getting turned into courted and go high level. We just got her on Indeed about a week and a half ago. So she's trying to build that recruiting pipeline and then just focusing on the agents and helping them get to where they want to be.
Awesome. So any advice for anybody listening?
Well, join Reside. Can I say that?
Thank you. That was not planned. Thank you.
Honestly, I had been with 1, 2, 3 different coaching programs over the past several years, and they were great in that season. But to get me from where I was September 2024 to where I am today, I mean, it's you guys. 100%. And those coaching programs were fantastic, but they never could have gotten me here.
Thank you for that. But it's also you. So we can't take all the credit, Brandi.
Well, Ross does tell me that, I can't remember how he says it, but he says of all of his coaching students, now that I'm with Ross, he tells me that I am the biggest implementer. So he'll tell me to do something and within 24 hours, it's done. I'm a doer. So, but I need the guidance to tell me what to do because you guys have been there, you've done it. You've got so much exposure to all these other brokerages that are doing huge numbers, much bigger than what I'm doing. And you guys tell me what to do and I trust you and I do it.
Oh, that's so great. Yes. You guys, everyone listening, watching, the information without implementation is like worthless, right?
Yeah.
One of the tricks to life, success in life and anything is massive friggin' action, right? And the implementers will win. If somebody wants to send you a referral in Tulsa, and they should, because you're the only person I was sending a referral to in Tulsa, how do they do that?
Yeah, website's privatelabelrealtors.com. So look us up, fill out the contact information, and you'll hear from me immediately.
Awesome. You guys, this was so great. Brandi, I had so much. I think we could have gone on for hours.
This was good.
This was great. So everybody, I hope you got something out of this episode with Brandi. She's just positive and a success story. Even when things are hard in her life, she figured out ways around it. So I hope that that inspires you guys watching and listening. If it did, like and share with a friend. Make sure to send Brandi your referrals in Tulsa. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Reside Platform Podcast. Thank you.
Bye, Sneak.